Well, time for a tournament wrap-up just over my left shoulder here. Don't want to disturb it, but the team song is being sung, Rato Rachanja Surye, the Nepal victory song. The reason why the champions of this event have stayed unbeaten, as much as anything, thanks to the most incredible fielding performance throughout the event. They were the standout fielding side by a distance. Wasn't just about Dipender Singh Airee. You couldn't extend that streak this evening of a 6th consecutive run out in 6 matches, but fantastic efforts in the field, particularly from Kushal Bertel and Gulshan Jha, and that Mohammad Adil Alam run out too. But overall this evening they were far too good for Samoa. Over 40 sides or 40 spaces separate these two sides in the ICC T20I rankings, and in all reality it was a bit of a mismatch. To be honest, I felt for Samoa. They had plenty of players who were injured. They were down to 12 fit players from their 15, and ultimately Nepal proved far too good for them, scoring a 124-run victory. The bigger story really is the 3 qualifying sides. Great credit to Oman. I thought their bowling's been exceptional all throughout this tournament, and I think actually if they can add a couple of batters to that side ahead of February, they will definitely go to India and Sri Lanka seeking some upsets. And for the UAE, even though they took that 3rd qualification spot, a little bit of over-reliance on their batting. Alishan Sharifu was named the player of the tournament, just squeezed past, I think it was Dipender Singh Airee, Asif Sheikh and Gulshan Jha in 2nd place. Really close run thing. He was exceptional, the tournament's leading run scorer. The best part of 300 runs for him, and contributions as always, as you'd expect from Mohammad Waseem. But across the course of 21 matches, you have to say, despite the cardiac kids somewhat turning into the cardiac kings with 3 absolute thrillers, those games coming against Japan, the 1-run victory, a game for the ages in the El Clasico against UAE, and then the heart-stopping moments, the blood pressure monitors, the cardiologists were on call for the 4-run victory over Qatar. The heroes at the death there, Dipender Singh Airee and Sandeep Lamachani, but also special mention for Asif Sheikh's glove work down the leg side. Without those wins, things could have been ever so different, and I saw a completely different Rohit Paudel this evening in the post-tournament celebrations. You could visibly see the relief. In fact, you could see it writ large on all 3 of the captains' faces, Jatinder Singh and Mohammad Waseem, and indeed Rohit Paudel. He's a special young leader, that man, and I'll tell you something, the job he is doing under the tutorship now of Stuart Law is quite exceptional. If we spin around, we're about an hour after the end of play now, but also a big shout out for the 12th player. These fans, I had both the captain of Japan and Qatar come to me at various stages through the tournament and say without them, they don't think that they would have actually come up to those defeats against Nepal, because they were the difference maker. They'd never played in front of crowds like that, and ultimately they paved the way for those victories. So the 12th player, you've played your role, and I know for a fact you're going to play your role down in India and Sri Lanka. We've had a great 21 games. I am exhausted physically and emotionally. I think I've commentated on 15 or 16 of them. It's been 10 days that I will not forget, but one thing is for certain: the 18th, 19th and 20th spots in this World Cup are sealed. Nepal going to be one of the stories of the tournament, but great credit to Oman as the hosts, and indeed the 19th qualifiers, and UAE too. I do think what we're going to see is something special. The big question is going to be which one of those associates will emulate USA's run at the T20 World Cup from 2 years ago and make it through to the Super 8. Not going to be easy. All the odds is always stacked against the associates, but keep your eyes on Namibia, on the Netherlands and on Nepal. Those 3 ends, between the 3 of them, one of those 3 might just make it to the Super 8. And I promise you something, this is a very special young group of men who are some of the best ambassadors I've ever seen for the country. I promise you, I've tried my absolute best to get it back to as many of the messages as I can. I really do. I sit up late at night. I try to say Dandavad to everyone, but I also want to just thank you so much. It means a huge amount. I miss Nepal terribly. I'm desperate to get back there. I haven't been there in this calendar year in 2025. A little part of me is missing that second home of mine. So I just want to thank you all so much. Say Dandavad. I'm going to take a few days off. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I just need to relax and chill, and I need some sleep. There's no doubt about that. Congratulations to Nepal as the champions. We're going to see you very soon. Namaste.